This week on Cars and Things Restos, back into MAKO. Let's get her into high build and let's get it all shaped, ready for paint. Good morning guys, we're here at the Holden Firewall. Guys, Crouchy here. We're back on MAKO and we're prepping it for paint. Okay, so I've just whacked our first coat of high build on it. I actually wanted to put 2 coats on, but I didn't actually have enough for 2 coats. I've run out. I'll have to go and see WAP and get some more. I only got that far, didn't get all the engine bay done, but that's okay. I'll whip in and see Wappy and I'll get another tin of it. Brother's still got to rub the roof back. He gave that another hit with Resto. He wasn't happy with it. There's a couple of little marks, which you can see there. They should come out when he scuffs it back. Got stuck into the boot. It's all covered in overspray. That's okay. It's looking pretty good. That's covered in Resto finish. I can see a dent right there. So I'm going to flatten all that back and see if I can get that. Hang on, let me turn this compressor off. Yeah, so I'm going to flatten all that boot back, and if it needs any little fixes, I'll get that. I see there's one right there as well. That's all right. That'll work out really well. So there we are. So the plan was to get it in high build and let it sit. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to leave that till tomorrow. Brother will be back tomorrow. He can rub the roof. I'm going to rub the high build back with probably 240 or 320, see what brother says. I'll dry rub it, and then I'm going to put another 2 coats on top of that, and I'll do the roof and the engine bay at the same time. So that'll just, yeah, I'm not too stressed. It's a bit of rubbing. Actually, I'm getting a bit over rubbing at the moment. Done enough of it lately, but these are the things we've got to do. All right, keep on trucking on. Righto. Come up this morning, and because I only got 1 coat on it yesterday and ran out, I really wanted to put a good 2 coats down before we sanded it. But because it's dried off, I've got to sand it before we can put any more down. So we thought we'd block it back, and it's blocked back really good. It was very easy to rub. What did I use? 240 I've used. We ran a line. I'm doing the front one here. We ran our tape line along there just to make sure we get it dead straight. We sand down to it and up to it. You got your gauge. We're going to just show you how thick the actual Resto finish and 1 coat of it's also got epoxy on it, hasn't it? Yeah, it's got epoxy, Resto finish, and 1 coat of here's on the side here. What do you call it? Bloody high build. So what do we got there?
5.68 mil.
Now that's not millimeters. No. That's MLS, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll put it in the micro. 59 microns. 59
microns. But when you do it in MLS, that's virtually works out to thou.
Yeah.
So put it back to how much? How in
that's
thou?
In mils.
3 thou. 3 thou of
4. Yeah.
So 4 thou we've got, or 4.76 thou. So it's 2 there.
Yeah.
Must have been a high spot there. So come measure this guard before I sand it.
6, so you hadn't been sanded yet.
Yeah, I haven't sanded that yet. So it's 6 thou before I sand it. So obviously I'm taking about 2 thou off when I sand it back. That's 3 there. Yeah, because I sanded that. I went across the door. Yeah. So that's how thick the shit is. Check this Commodore over here. Check out the paint on this. How thick this is from new. Find a new bit because I don't think these guards are new, are they? The bonnet might be. Well, we think. You've got no idea.
12.
So that's 12 thou or mil.
That's 30 there.
Or maybe that's try the roof or maybe or something or the door. That's 2 thou. 2 thou paint.
3 there. So there's
It's not very thick.
not that one.
We'll have more paint than that on ours. Try the door.
Yeah, that's 6.
That's 6 there.
Yep.
So we've got
What's the hammer off?
we've got as much as them new ones on it already in high build and whatnot.
4.5 on a new Yamaha.
So we're there got paint on them already. We're about the same, and we haven't got paint on ours yet. So there's a little bit in it, but it is fucking straight as a die, and it's going to be even straighter. We'll keep cracking away.
What are you doing?
I'll just drill a couple of holes in it. Bite this mount. We're going to mount these two here, so it's going to make sure I've got it in the right spot and drill them through. Can I see a hole? Yep. I'm into the aluminium, which must be in the right spot.
Need to sharpen your drill bit.
No, don't push it very hard. I didn't want to go through the other side.
Ow. Fill her up.
This one's a bit tougher. Righto. Probably should have filmed the whole process, eh? Yeah, here's what it is. It's on there now. When we put it on though, we'll glue it, we'll Sikaflex it all on.
Yeah, do it properly. Get some tight, neater looking screws.
Yeah, I got them black ones
Yeah.
down at the workshop.
Not some old button heads and bunnings.
Yeah, but you want flat ones.
Yeah,
Not that one, but you want flat ones so it doesn't hit the...
Yeah, you want the proper. Right, now this, if people recall, is the spoiler that he picked up from the Ballarat swap meet.
Look at that! Beautiful.
Not a bad fit, just needs a bit of
Yeah. Trev glued his on there. I don't think I'll do that. I reckon we might put the spoiler on after it's painted.
Yeah,
Trev put all his on and then painted it.
that looks pretty good.
I don't know. What do you think? Then it seals it up under there. Shit.
It'll crack though.
If we get a nice curve right around that, it'll, when I paint it, sit up there. Where's my...
Anyway, spoiler's on.
Yep.
Looks good.
Righto. Just smashed out the high build. 2 really good coats of high build on it. So as you seen before, we rubbed it all back, the first coat back, and it come back really good. So now we've just smashed 2 real good coats of high build on there, which will probably rub a lot of it off. But you know what? I don't care. I want it straight, so you guys can look at it and go, geez, they did a good job of that. That's what I want to hear. So it's looking pretty good. And so now that's done and dusted. We are going to push it aside, and I've still got to do the engine bay, which I'll do that tomorrow. I'm going to sand all that back that I put on it yesterday, and I'll do that in the morning. So, and then it can get pushed into the corner, and we'll get on to Dave's tonner, and I might film a bit of Dave's tonner and show you guys. I wasn't gonna because I've already done a tonner, but I'll show you a bit of that. And that might be it for a little while. But anyway, next time you'll see this, we will be blocking it back with, I think we're going to go 400 or 380, wet and dry, block it all back, and we should not get any rub-throughs, hopefully. And then we'll go over it with some 600, and it'll be ready for paint, which will be after Easter sometime. All right, that'll do for the minute. Righto. So we've rubbed the boot back. That was its first coat. Was that first coat of resto? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah. So a couple of little low spots. Look, the spoiler goes here. So I'm not too worried. Like, there's a couple of dimps just here, but it's all covered by the spoiler. Not too stressed about that. Spoiler goes right down to here. Down to about here. So it'll cover all that up. So these little lows, yeah, they'll look shit when I paint it. You'll see them, but then we'll whack the spoiler on it and it'll be all hidden. There is a bit of a low just there and around the keyhole we need to fix. But as you've seen yesterday, we had a gap underneath the spoiler when we put it on, so I have waxed some fiberglass around that edge. I'm just starting to file that all back flat and see if I can fill that gap in underneath there so it fits nice and true and looks sweet. So I'll get stuck into that. Well, there we are. Spoiler gap is all taken up. A bit of fiberglass. I've got to put a little bit of filler just in that fucking hole there. But it's meeting down really flush now, hardly even a gap under it. Looking neat, just rolls under. A bit of paint on that, a bit of high build, whatnot, it'll take right up. So that is looking pretty sweet. Alrighty. Righto, it's time. Bit of wet rubbing, brother. Yeah. So we've just started blocking back this quarter. He's done the top there. Looking really nice. It's just gone through there, which is fine. And we're using filtered water. I'll just show you. Went and got a filter to filter our water. It goes in through and it's all filtered, so we don't get any shit, grime and crap that comes out of the pipeline, gets caught in that filter.
And we're using, probably can't peel it off anyway, sticky back.
It says in there, doesn't it?
From Melomotive.
Superflex
400 grit.
Right. Go straight onto the linear blocking tools.
So it gets it dead straight.
So, well, really it should be straight anyway where we're at. All it's doing is taking any little imperfection with that's 400, so it's just going to take any little imperfection out of it. So, looking good. Pretty happy with that. We'll keep knocking this out and we'll show you when we're done. At that. That's just with water on it. Look how straight it is. That is fucking brilliant, brother. You can see you in it easily. Yeah. It's a bit thick. Yeah, run off. And that's just the back quarter that we've done. Look at our line along there, it's perfect. See? Yeah, you can see you in it easily. Hopefully I can get to clear that shiny off the gun. I'll be wrapped with the you might need to wipe it off, will you?
Starting to dry out now.
Go and stand in front of it so we get the shine.
Can you see?
Yeah, I reckon you can see the house over there, perfect. That's a bit dry up there. Pretty happy with that. Don't you bloody hate it when you get something all finished off, ready to go for paint. Really all it needs is a flattened back with 600 and that's ready for paint. Bolt the spoiler on it, it's ready for paint, and then you go to a car show and you see something really cool, you go, oh, I've got to do that. So we're doing that. Not only are we doing it on the boot, we're getting rid of the locks on the doors as well. So I'm going to put a welder patch in here as well, which is not bad because that's pretty thin. If you can see, there's bugger all filler in or bodywork in that, so it should rub back, weld her in, and I'll have to plaster up and sand her back. Anyway, them's the disappointment in the trade, isn't it? When you go and see other stuff, you got to match it. Okay, got my little patch made up. I might try and weld it from the back side, so I don't want to get too much heat into it. I've got to be very careful. I don't want it warping at all. I want to do my best to keep the warp out of it, and that way I can just smear a bit of fiberglass over it, rub it all back flat, and it should, all I'll need to do is probably put a bit of high build over it. We'll see what happens. That's the plan. Whether it works or not, I don't know. We'll see how we go. All ground back. Pretty smooth, pretty happy with that. I'm just going to put some filler over it or some fiberglass and then rub it back. This one, much the same. That one came up pretty flat, and the boot one, there's a little bit of indentation in the boot. Just around, because it's sucked in like that, was for the keyhole, which is not a problem. Gee, right, whack some, I'll put some epoxy over the bare bits and I'll whack some filler over it and see what it comes up with. So I whacked a bit of metal filler in here. It's got aluminium in it, and as you can see where it, I didn't weld it, it's pushed through all the holes, so that'll go like rock hard like steel. They call it metal filler. It's got aluminium in it, so that'll really go off, and it sort of will bond the in between the gaps that I didn't get, because I only sort of tack welded it in there because I didn't want to get too much heat in it. There we go. Yeah, so it'll dry off and go like concrete or metal, steel. Now I'm just going to put some body filler over it and see what it comes up with. I thought I'd get stuck into this back firewall. I've filled all the holes in there, tack welded them, some plates in there, and then I'm just going to put some seam sealer over it. They only needed to be tack welded in there. I'll put some seam sealer to neaten them up. That just makes it a little bit safer, especially having a fuel cell in the boot. Plus, I believe Summernats, you must have a firewall if you have a fuel tank in the boot. So that will suffice as a firewall. There's no open entries into the back, just those little holes there that I might plug weld those up, which is not a problem. And that's fine, but I'm going to sheet all this boot anyway, so there'll be a plate or a board going down there, same over here to hide all that, and down here as well. So it neatens up the boot. All you'll have is a battery in the boot and the fuel tank, and it should be neat. Still smashing out these doors. They've come up really nice. I've got 3 coats of high build on there at the moment. The boot, lock, and this other door. I've got a little bit more left in the gun, so I'll probably give them another coat, and that will suffice. I think they should be good enough. I'm going to let it push it out, and I've still got probably another week or so left. We're back on this thing here, which is a future show I'll bring up. So we're getting stuck into this. We'll push MAKO out in the sun. Not as much sun out there at the moment, but we'll push her out in the sun and let it keep on curing and shrinking back if it's going to shrink back. It's looking pretty good. It's been like that for 3 weeks now, and it hasn't really done anything, so we're pretty happy with it. But anyhow, longer I leave it, the better. We leave it's in here in the dry, and then we push it out into the sun when it's nice and hot. So all happening. I'll give one more coat on them doors and see what it looks like. Righto, that's going to do it for this episode on MAKO. It's good to be back showing you what we've been doing. Now it's good to get back on the MAKO. We've been working on it in the background, doing a few other jobs as well. As you see, we're doing the 383 build as well. It's all happening. We've got plenty happening. I'm doing other bits and pieces, getting all the subframe or the K-frame done, all the suspension done, dash, all that. I've got other videos, I'll show you all that as we go. Alright, as I said, that'll do for this episode. Please jump on and subscribe and hit the bell, share it with your friends, and we'll see you next time. Cheers!